the Peanut Chew Factory on State Road. I always get State Road and Street Road confused. Rick the Puppy, guess what we're doing? We're going for a walk. And today, I will spread some good news about the city of Philadelphia. Well, before I talk about I-95, Rick the Puppy, let's talk about Peanut Chews. Peanut Chews are a candy. It's like chocolate and peanuts, and it's like a toffee chewy thing. They were made in this factory. 1917 is when they were first created, and they were wildly successful. I don't know if they still make them here. Maybe they did. Why would they have the sign if they didn't? Anyway, they are now owned by a company called Just Born, and I just found out that Peeps and Hot Tamales are made by the same company, and they make Peeps in the town of Bethlehem, not the town where Jesus was born, but the town where Big Dan Champion is from, sorta, kinda. There you go. Oh, that lady's staring at me. Why is that guy looking at our candy factory? All right. So anyway, where are we going, Rick the Pup? We're going to I-95. This is a pretty significant, a lot of stuff has happened on this stretch of street. You have the Peanut Chew Factory, Four Season Total Landscaping, I-95. Oh, so yeah, I-95. Less than a year ago, there was a guy driving a truck, and he took a turn and to go underneath this tunnel that gets you underneath I-95. And I don't even know what happened to the guy, but he didn't make the turn, and he crashed into the wall. And I think it was a truck full of fuel, and because of the truck carrying fuel, there was a large explosion, so much to the point that I-95 melted. So, and if you don't know, I-95 is a highway that you can go from, I think, Florida to Vermont or Maine, and go all across the East Coast. And traffic had everybody on I-95 had to get off. It cut through this neighborhood up here, and it really screwed up traffic for about 2 weeks. It didn't take that long the governor declared a state of emergency, and we had work crews working 24 hours a day, and they fixed 95. It's no longer Flukes. It's Sharkies. And also down the street, I'll show it on the way back, there's a restaurant called Sweet Lucy's. Let's see what they got. $2.50 drafts all day. That's a good deal. Hold on, Rick the Puppy. I feel bad. When we were driving down the street, we saw a train going down this street right here on this railroad track in the middle of the street. And I know you railroad dorks, you guys love the train footage. And I'm sorry I missed it. All right, so this is a pretty historic spot. This is the block of Four Seasons Total Landscaping. It's the place where Rudy Giuliani held a press conference behind the landscaping building, and the company, the landscaping business has been doing, I think, remarkably well since it happened. They made a documentary about the landscaping place. And right here is Fantasy Island Adult Boost. Hold on, Rick the puppy. And this is where, on the day of the speech, this is the parking lot where Rudy Giuliani and all his entourage parked. And the owner of this business was pissed off because there was no parking for his customers that day. He said they didn't buy anything. So you can see the traffic it's like a weird industrial spot. Across the street, it's a crematorium. They do, you never want to see the smokestacks in use over there. It's kind of creepy. Oh no, you see they got stuff like flames coming out of it. Come on, Rick the puppy. I don't want to see any smoke coming out of there. This is it. This is Four Seasons Total Landscaping. There's been several documentaries made about the famous speech. For about 3 or 4 years, they had a run. The city had like a marathon, or like a half a marathon, and you would run from the Four Seasons Hotel in Center City to the Four Seasons Total Landscaping. There should be a historical marker out here, or maybe not out here, but behind here. There it is. Oh, they are hiring if you want to work. If you want to work for Four Seasons Total Landscaping, applications are being accepted. You got to have experience. I show you I-95. Oh, there's a lot of stuff. Make sure you hit the like button, Rick the puppy. And you too watching. It's not for me. It doesn't do any, it's nice to know people like it, but it shows YouTube. You're like, you know what? This guy's stuff's pretty good. It's so good, as a matter of fact, I'm going to touch that button. Because, 90% of the people don't touch the button. So I appreciate you touching the button. Boy, Rick the puppy, you're yanking. All right, this is it. For about 10 days, the eyes of the world were on this block right here, State Road, Cotman Ave. There was a live stream 24 hours a day on this street. You can see. Now, so anyway, so I-95 was warped and collapsed. So what they decided to do was fill up I-95, like underneath that tunnel. It was all burnt, and they had to, so what they did is they filled it with like this special rock that can hold a lot of weight, and they just filled in the hole. And it's less than a year from now, and they've already repaired the new bridge. You can see that it's being used right now. But I think the bigger news is the tunnel is completely clear. See that, Rick the puppy? You can see the other side of 95. And it's been clear for a while. That's amazing. That's incredible. It took work crews like 7 decades to fix the Girard Avenue exit or an entrance, and they fixed this up in less than a year. Yeah, the governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, I think he gave like 10,000 press conferences on this street, and they say he's probably going to run for president. Not this election, because why would he? I mean, it would only make sense. But so the guy who might be president in the future gave a lot of speeches right here on that street. And I'm going to tell you the truth. You know, it's very nice what happened, but there was a lot of lucky things that happened. I-95 in this area was under construction anyway, so we had all the work equipment to get to this spot to fix that location. It was already here, and that there was a special rock that they had to put underneath the underneath that tunnel to support the weight, and there is a company that makes that rock that is like only a few exits away from 95. So we also got very lucky. That's why it got fixed so fast. So I don't, you know, it's nice that he gets to spike a football because he did something. Did he even do anything? I don't know. He just told guys to work 24/7. But yeah, so anyway, that happened. I wonder if I leave that in. I don't know. I saw a video that they were talking about changing the time change. Like they weren't doing it anymore. They were just going to leave it be. I'm for it. As long as we do the one where we have more daylight. That's what I say. I don't care about kids going to school in the dark. Oh, Rick the puppy ripped out my shoulder. I don't care about kids going to school in the dark at 7:15 in March or February. I don't care about them. I'm sorry. My sunlight at 6 p.m. Oh my God. Don't you do better when it's like bright out? It's like it's kind of that way now. 6:15 p.m. The sun's like almost completely set, but it's still a little daylight out. Fantastic. Here it is, Rick the Puppy. 4 C's in total landscaping. And this is the actual spot where they gave the speech. This is where the street they pulled up on. And they said, you know what? This is the spot. There it is. Right there. Wow, the famous garage door is open. How exciting. That's it. This is everything around there. It's so crazy. You got car businesses. Here's Big Joe's Roofing. A landscaping business. You got the crematorium across the street. It's fantastic. Yeah, they must have a bunch of feral cats. Oh, that's why the cat was... That makes sense. Come on, Rick the Puppy. You keep walking. Now, come on, Rick the Puppy. Feral cats are scary. I wonder the person who arranged the meeting for the Four Seasons Total Landscaping. Like the guy, there had to be a guy who worked for the Trump campaign who had to say yes. There had to be one person who's responsible. And you walk around here. Do you think that guy still, like, does he still have a job in politics? Because he shouldn't. It's like I saw Sour Patch Kids cereal at the supermarket one day. And I just don't even know how that made it past the board meeting. Right? Have you ever had a Sour Patch Kid and said, you know, I need to dip this in some milk? It was so disgusting. Let's see, do we got a train coming, Rick the Puppy? Get the train dorks happy. Nah. Look at this. Sharkies, right here. They have like a football turf in the back here. And across the street right here is Sweet Lucy's BBQ. I had it before. I've had it a few times. It's fine. There's not many barbecue places. Actually, there are a lot of barbecue places. But they do it good. They got good barbecue. I used to work for a self-storage company. I know that's hard to believe, but I used to work for a self-storage company. And just so you know, what they do is they give you a spot. You get a great introductory rate, and then they up the price every, 4 to 6 months. And by 2 or 3 years, you will have put out way more than you think you would have. And the odds are, whatever you have in storage is not what you're paying for rent. I used to have to bust these open, the units for auctions. And I remember the craziest thing I ever found in a unit was a dude's mom in a not the body, but the cremated ashes. And we're not like supposed to touch. You're not supposed to touch anything in the storage units. But I know what a urn looks like. So I called the guy up. I'm like, dude. He goes, oh, I know. I got to pay my rent. I was like, no, it's not that. Your shit went up for auction, and I just realized your mother's remains are inside them. You may want to, pay the rent. They came in the next day. I mean, it's the size of a shoebox. You keep it in your house, right? You just keep it in the house. Also, I don't know what you do with ashes, because, right now, I got, dogs and human ashes in my house. And, what do we do? After, 2 or 3 generations, who gives a shit about my dead dog? My kids care, but after that, what the hell does my grandson care about the dog? So I don't know what we do. Rick the puppy. I do know Alan Alda wrote a book, and the title of his book was "Don't Ever Get Your Dog Stuffed." And it's a life-changing title, because I used to want to get the dog before Rick the puppy. I always thought that I would get him stuffed, but Alan Alda was like, after 10 years, the tail falls off, and you got to move it everywhere, and Well, listen, if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, and while you're at it, hit subscribe. Oh, don't forget to check out my merch. My merch, it's fire. And if you want to help me out, there's a link below in every video to the Patreon. And we're going to end it here at the Peanut Chew Factory. I don't know. I really thought they moved the Peanut Chew Company. I remember that being a news story, but maybe I'm wrong. Do you know? Let me know. And don't forget to check out my merch. They do that. My merch is fire. Get yourself a Rick the Puppy t-shirt. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Okay, we did that. We got it, right? Fun fact. This is the candy I give out for Halloween. I really am. Like, I really get into the Philly captain character sometimes, and I just think it's, you know, it's my duty. You know, if you're the captain of Philadelphia, he should tell you the best cheesesteak in Philadelphia is at John's Roast Pork. And for Halloween, you should give out peanut chews. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. And I'll say I'll with you later. Doodles!